works. That kind of shows. So that's really. That works. That's a little. It's a little. There we go. Just a little bit too something or other. I wonder if I can. Okay. So, Wache, welcome to our studio space here in Timmins. This is the Quilts for Survivors studio space, and we are going to make a block today. So that's going to be really fun. We've been working on these blocks right here. So Corey Yoder's from Coriander Quilts. We've been working on her block. So this is her mystery block of the month. It's not really a mystery anymore because it's over. This was last year's block. Just trying to see where my other patterns went to. Not in here. Oh my gosh. I had everything in there and now they're gone. They run away. Where did I put them? Oh, here they are. Okay, a little panic there for just a moment. Just a little panicked because I wasn't sure where my blocks went. So we've made block up to block 7. This one got out of place. So last month, that's what we did. And you can still get these, they're free patterns off of her website. And you can go grab them whenever you want off of the Coriander Quilts. CorianderQuilts.com is her website. And you can grab these patterns off of there. This was last year's mystery quilt. And it's great. It's a great pattern. I don't have the quilt that I made last year as I was making it as a mystery. I don't have that quilt anymore. It's been quilted, bound, and shipped and actually received by a survivor. So the quilts that we make here at Quilts for Survivors go to Indigenous residential school survivors, day school survivors, 60 scoop survivors, survivors of intergenerational trauma, and other just other things that have happened to our people because they are Indigenous. So that's where our quilts go. And the lady who received the quilt that I made last year, it was made with purple cotton, like a purple fabric, just a solid purple as my background, and then it was all batiks. And she loved how bright and cheerful it was. This one isn't as bright as last year's quilt, but it's still really fun. And I'm using scraps. So I just went into our scraps here at the studio and grabbed a bunch and just made a bunch of pieces so that I could make these quilts. So this one will be definitely way more scrappier than the other one because it was more of a coherent, consistent kind of style. But there's some batiks in it and some cottons. And then I have a much lighter, softer background. So that's what threads everywhere. That's what we're working on. So those are the blocks that we've made so far. So I have all 7 of them. There's 12 blocks and then there's finishing instructions. So there is sashing and borders to go with this after we make all of the blocks. And we're just going to keep going. So let's get started with block 8. I do record this here. So this is videoed live. So there's no editing involved. I don't go back and edit my videos. I just leave them as they are. And it works for me. I don't have the skill to really edit a video or the time to do that. I'm very busy. So this seems to be a really good way to just share these blocks with you. And you can go to our YouTube channel, Quilts for Survivors, and that will be there. I don't edit it again. No editing. So if we get interrupted, that'll be on there too. So we're going to start. This is the block that we're going to make. Again, these are free patterns off of the Coriander Quilts website. And you can go grab them. They're still there. As far as I know, she leaves them up there forever. And we will grab what we need. So in my little bin here, which is getting a little lower every time we make a block, it seems to be shrinking a little bit. So what we need today is we need from our, it doesn't say what we need, rectangles. From the fat eighth bundle, use a variety of prints and colors and cut the following. I don't know why she doesn't have what HST, what. These are the cutting instructions. Okay, so what we're gonna do, this is just what we need to cut. So we need the borders. So we need 10 and a half. I don't know if that's long enough. Do we have a long ruler here? I'm trying to grab a long enough. So I did have some rulers down here, but maybe I'll move. Okay, then we're back and then we'll grab our ruler. I don't know what happened to the rulers I was using last time, but anyways, I do have some rulers now. So there's one. So this will be, is this 10 and a half or 12 and a half? This is from your prints, whatever you're using. So this will be, I can get a 12 and a half. Okay. 1 and 2. Now this one needs to be 10 and a half. Oh, you need 2 of them. Okay, well, we'll do another 12 and a half. 2 12s and 2 10s. I don't think that's 10. This one I might be able to get 2 10s out of it. I don't know if it's long enough. Again, I had just used scratch, so it might not be long enough. There's 10 and a half. And I need one more clipping. I have one in here that's still long enough. Just press that a little bit. And 10 and a half. This is a free pattern, so you can go grab it off of her website. There's those border pieces that we need. And then we need rectangles. We did those, the 12. So you need 1.5 by 10 and a half and 1.5 by 12 and a half. 2 of each. Then you need 4 4.5 rectangles. Sorry, squares. So we're going to use these 1, 2, 3, 4. I cut a lot of purple. So I'm going to use these 4 purple here. Oh, that looks really nice there. And then we're going to need background rectangles. And slightly limited just because I have a smaller mat, but that's okay. This works. So I'm going to cut off salvages, and then we're going to do, these ones are slightly different sizes, 8.5. So I could have cut all of my borders ahead of time. I didn't. And that's okay. I cut all my strips. Everything else is cut. Okay, so there are my background borders there. So a short one and 2 long ones. So the short ones go on the side and the longer ones go on the top and bottom, and that's true for both. All right, so that's all that we need to cut for this particular block. Now, what we need to do is it says choose 16 HSTs from those you made in previous months. So every month from January to July, we made half square triangles, and we kept the rest of our half square triangles. We pressed them and trimmed them, and they're in here. So I'm going to grab those. Some of them maybe are not trimmed. I can't say for sure, but I think I had left a few maybe that weren't trimmed. Sometimes I got busy after the class and didn't take the time to cut them. So we're going to grab a whole whack of them. I think that's all of them. Oh, I said one. No, those are just bonus blocks. Okay. So we need 16 HST. So that's what we're going to grab. I'm going to try to grab different ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That looks similar to that. Oh no, maybe not. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's our 16, and they're already cut and they're already trimmed. So by prepping those beforehand, making 2 HSTs at a time, it really helps us in this stage. So the rest of the time, we don't have to make any more half square triangles. We have them already. It makes life a little easier. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lay it out according to the pattern. And again, this pattern is a free pattern. You can go grab it from her. So I'm just going to lay it out and then decide if I need to move anything around. I'm not going to worry too much about how anything looks right now. At least I'm going to try not to. Sometimes my brain goes, no, that can't go there. But I'm going to try to just focus on laying everything out. And again, not focusing on the colors, just making sure that the color part of my block is going the right way. And my seam is going the right way. Okay, so that looks right. Up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. Perfect. So that's good. Now we're just going to see if there's anything we want to change. I think I just want to change this one because it's a lot of color at one spot. I think it's fine. The pinks aren't all together. Nothing's really too crazy. I think it's fine. So that's our block, and it looks probably the same both. You can see there's a pinwheel in there. Very cute. So we're just going to sew that together like a 16 patch. So let's get sewing. Can you see my sewing machine? Just going to turn this just a little bit. There we go. So we're going to start sewing, and I'm just going to make sure one big thing is to not move. As when I bring them from here to here, I want to make sure I don't rotate them. That I don't put them in the wrong orientation, because I've done that a few times. It's usually when my error lies. Okay. Just flying somewhere. Okay, we're going to do the next row. Just doing the first 2 pieces from each row. Chain piecing is normally what I do. I'm going to chain. We're still going to chain piece, get these together. Get them, oops. Thread broke. The thread doesn't normally break. So So then I like to lay them back out where they go, making sure that I haven't changed anything. Change the orientation of the block so they're still going. How does it do that? I never used to. Never used to break thread or unthread when I sewed it. I never did. Doing that now. Early for the block making, but that's okay. It says block making at 11. It's a little early, but I thought I'd come on since I had the time to do it. I got really pulled away and wrong direction. Right. Then this one, again, making sure I line everything up. Everything looks really good. I'm just gonna cut it and I can't. All right. Okay, one more. Then we'll have our 4 rows done. So this block this month will really be a quick block. Which sometimes is what you need, is you just need something quick, get your creative juices flowing, but not take a lot of time, especially, it's summer still and we're busy. Lots of things to do before kids go back to school, before, just all those things. At least here in Canada, the kids haven't gone back to school. I know there's some places where kids go back to school in August, and they're done in like June or something. They have June and July off. My kids go back September 1st. I think it's crazy. I'm not ready for them to be done. Summer. I'm not ready for summer to be over. So then you're going to press them, and you can press them where maybe you'll press one row one way and the other row will be the other way. That's probably the easiest way to do it. You can press open should you choose. I don't press. Need to do that. I find if I nest everything, most things will be flat, and then just press it really good, really well. And then we have a good in the bulk. I think in some cases, bulk is just going to be there. There's nothing you can put it. I used to press things open, and now I'm more of a press to the side. And it works just as good. So that's the bottom row. So if you have a really hot iron, that really helps. Everything really is nice. Just ensuring that things are really hot. I'm going to check to make sure all of my pieces are going together correctly so that I don't have to rip it apart later because I flipped something. I was up in the camper and I was sewing something together, a block of some sort together. And I was like, oh, I messed them all up. I had them all in order. And then I messed them all up because I sewed, instead of sewing it to this side, I sewed it to this side. And it just caused all these issues. So I ripped things apart and re-sewed things. And it was a little nutsy. Okay, so these don't actually have to be pressed in order to sew together. I am going to make sure though that I'm putting them together correctly. Yes, because I need that pinwheel in the center, which is perfect. And we're almost done this block. So again, this one's pretty quick, pretty simple, but very nice block, very nice looking. Lots of HSTs. If you didn't make 2 at a time HSTs while you were making them, then you would have to make your 16 HSTs. But if you made them, if you had the extra bonus ones, then kudos to you. Half your work is done. Yeah, just pressing it as flat as I can get it. Over anything else, just getting it really, really flat. Okay. So the next step then is to take your background border pieces and to put the short pieces on the sides, so left and right, and then your longer pieces on the top and bottom. And you're going to sew your sides first and then your top and bottom. And that's pretty common for most blocks or quilt tops, as we do our side borders first and then top. Usually I don't cut my thread, I just continuously sew. I don't have anything else to sew right now, so. Oops, I need to unthread. I think I got to the end before I did. I did get it sewn before it decided to unthread itself. Okay. So now we're going to press those. Set the seam, roll it back. Nice and flat, so it's looking great. So you can always use any color for your background. A quilt might say white or off-white or a gray. Another color might be black or something like that. You can use any color you want. You can use a print, you can use a solid. You'll just get a different look. So you can try it out. I prefer to use, this isn't a white, this is like a sand color. I can't remember the name of this color. It's a North Pot fabric. But you can really use whatever. And thread it again. I don't like this one at the end. It's like, oh, I'm coming to the end. I don't need to change the needle because I just changed it. So I'm not sure. We will have to see. There we go. Okay. We'll do the last border and then we'll press. And we'll see how it looks. And if you notice, I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't size up my center block. I left it, and then I can size it up now. Oops. I need to. When I started, it went wonky. There you go. So our longest piece is 10.5. So that tells us that when we're done putting all 4 borders on this block, it will be 10.5 inches square. And that's what we want. So we're going to take it over here and press again. Press. Press. Okay, so now this is a nice block. We're going to make sure that it's square. So we're going to make sure that it's 10.5 by 10.5. And we do that by checking it out, making sure. So we're going to trim a little bit off one side. That side to help us a little bit on this side. Making sure that this is. You can always put the middle of your ruler right in the middle of your block so that you can see that time. Felt comfortable cutting the 2 and 1 more. One more side. I think that's this one here. Just to make sure that everything is lined up. And then when we put our other borders on, we shouldn't have any issues. Okay. So there is our nice block with the 1 border so far. We have another border to put on. Let's do that border. So again, the short pieces go on the sides. Oops. Longer pieces go top and bottom. So now we're going to sew our sides on. Everything I'm doing is a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which is very common again in quilting. Usually what they ask for. Sometimes it's a scant, but other than that, not usually too much. I don't know why that keeps doing that. I might have to. Some of the threading, I think. That one's done. Then this one. Go. And then top and bottom. And then we're almost done. We still have our squares here to use, and we'll use those, but we're going to put our borders on first. And then we'll show you how we use those. Oh, and cut again. Pull that right at the end. I don't know how to do that. Next one. Border. Done. That, or anyways. Just making sure everything is nice and even. So far, so good. Thread off. I like to cut my threads as I go. That's partly why I like to change it, because then I don't have to cut all the thread. All done full time, but I don't want to spare. Okay, so there is our finished block. There you go. A really fun block. Really cute. Thread there. There you go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to draw some lines on our squares here. With a pencil or a pen or whatever works for you. These are, so from corner to corner, you're going to draw your line on the diagonal from corner. And then you're going to draw another line about 1/2 inch away. Okay? So 2 lines. 2 lines drawn. There. There to there. And there to there. Okay, so now in every corner we're going to place our square. I think there's 2 there. There is 2 there. Okay. Okay. So we are going to sew from corner to corner on that long line. That's diagonal there. A little bit of stitch. Then we're going to stitch on the second line. So we have 2 lines. So you have your line that you need for your block here, and then your other line is so that you can have a bonus block. And you're going to do that all the way around. Okay? You don't have to draw the second line if you don't want to. You don't even have to sew it if you don't want to. Those have nothing to do with this project. It makes a little pillow. Actually, I can show you. I don't have my pillow done. I have the top as we quilt it. Just haven't had it longer. And quilt it. Came on, thread it again. Just going on, renew that line. Ready to go. We're going to do 2. We have 2 more to do. And just making sure it lines up really nice in the corner. So it's lining up here nice, it's in the corner nice, and then it lines up here nice. Yes.
Do you think after, or can I take a break from painting to buying quilts?
Yep. Are you doing that right now?
Probably after lunch, because I'm just working on some other stuff.
Okay.
The letters still.
Oh, on that side now? Or are you still on the same one?
I'm still on the Zoom.
Yeah, you can take a break. All right. Okay, I don't know when we're reading it. Retention seems good. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things. Okay, so now we have them all pieced on there. You can see the 2 lines for each one. And then what we're going to do, actually, I'm going to use this one, is we're going to cut in between those 2 lines, and that should give us a 1/4 inch seam allowance on both sides. So those are the bonus blocks, and I will go grab that thing that pillowcase that I need to quilt. I have quite a few things I need to put on the long arm. Off 1/4 inch on that seam and then press that. So then you get 4 little cute blocks that look like that. And I'll go get that's what I did with last year's bonus block. So those are the colors. So the purple is my background. So it turned out really cute. I'm going to quilt that. I find it's better if I quilt it with batting and backing and then put it in a pillow. It seems to just kind of hold it together. Thank you. I think it looks pretty nice. Not still. Just pressing my seams down and rolling it out, pressing it towards the corner here. Yes, towards the purple. That's what the color on. And we won't worry about those right now. So then there's our block. We're going to make sure that it is the size we want it to be, 12.5, which is a pretty common size of block. There, it looks really good. And there it is. It's finished. So that's block 8 of the Coriander Mystery Quilt. It's not a mystery anymore. You can see the finished quilt on her website. And there you go. So it's really, really cute. It didn't take us as long as some of the previous months because we had all of our half square triangles already made. So it turned out really pretty. And this shows you that even with Scrappy, it looks really, really good. There was a comment, good morning. Oh, good morning. I didn't see the name, but good morning. It is a great day. So here I did a similar one. I think that was block 1. And then here I've done different borders and different corners as well. So you can, scrap it up as much as you want. So there's lots of variety and opportunity to just work on different things. So thank you for joining me. We have another one of our blocks done. I guess I should put it on the top so you can see it. Another block. So that's block 8. So we have 4 more blocks to make plus the finishing, and then our quilt will be ready. And it finishes at, it's quite a good size quilt. I don't know, 60 by something, I think. Does it tell you? Hang on, I'll tell you how big it is. It's a good size quilt. And it looks really nice. It looks really, really nice. I think is that the last block? No, here it is. Maybe she doesn't tell you how big it is. I don't know. The completed quilt top will measure 52.5 by 67.5. So a good size. So a nice throw size. If you want it to be a little bigger, you could simply make more blocks. So just make a couple extra ones of some of these, or you can make bigger borders, because I think she has an inner border and then an outer border, and you could just add another outer border or cut your outer border bigger. And then you have a slightly bigger quilt. Quick and easy way to make a quilt a little larger should you choose to. So again, this is recorded on our YouTube channel, and I do go live on our TikTok channel, so you could like and subscribe, follow along, see if you enjoy these kind of videos. I do go live a lot more on TikTok. I do more of a structured teaching type thing on the YouTube, and now I've been doing our donations on our YouTube channel as well. So that's on our Facebook group as always, and it always will be. And then I do it simultaneously on our YouTube channel. I think I said that right. Now I feel like I said it wrong. But anyways, that's how we do that. We are preparing for our September class quilt. It is a mystery quilt. I do have so you can sign up through our website, www.quiltsforsurvivors.ca, and you can sign up to join our mystery sew along. It is taught over Zoom, so you can join in and ask questions and sew along, and we're there to help you. I say we, because there's always volunteers who have a lot of knowledge as well with sewing, quilting, and maybe I can't answer your question, but I'm sure someone else can, so you can join in on that. That starts, I don't know the date. I think it's the 20th of September. It's always the third Sunday of the month, unless that turns out to be a stat. Then we either go before or after. And again, it's a mystery quilt. So you're not going to see the whole quilt, but it is a beautiful quilt. And I have the top here, and it was designed by one of our volunteers, by Laura, and she made this pattern. So you can't find this pattern anywhere except through Quilts for Survivors. So join in and sew along. You can keep the quilt, or you can donate it back to Quilts for Survivors should you choose. We just ask, if you do make it for us, that you follow our fabric requirements. We do have some restricted fabrics. They're mostly the print on the fabric is what we're focusing on, just because we want to make sure that our quilts, when they go to the recipient, that they don't cause any trauma or bring up any bad memories. We're trying to honor what they're looking for in a quilt. So you can join us with that. It is 10 months. So we make 9 months of blocks, and then we have finishing in the final month, which is usually June. And then you can finish up your quilt. You can quilt it at home, or get it taken to a long arm. Or if you're donating it to us, we can long arm it here. So there's always great ways to get it finished. So you can join us there. More information on that on our website. So please check it out. And our website has been updated. So please take a look. Some things, all the information is still the same. We haven't changed anything. We've just updated it, got rid of any of the errors that it had got hacked, and our website had some errors in it. So this is just a nice way to have that done. And yeah, so check it out. And again, check out our YouTube channel. There's always saved videos and fun things there. And they're not edited, so you get me and all my craziness, which I think is kind of fun and maybe a little bit more personal. So again, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to sign off on YouTube. We'll see you next time for block 9 in September.